Wake up, let's run it. Charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hand strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready. We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we glow. Hands to the sky like let's get paid. Chase big goals, not just upgrades. GM bowl energy all day. Smile up, we're built this way. No fear, just flips and vibes. Turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rides. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. Oh, 3M, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning, crypto. Press play. Wake up, smile, send it.
Step 1, wake up early, gon' rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've got no headlines. We saw a lot of movement on the charts, both on the crypto side of things and on the TradFi side. So today, we're going to take a look at a bunch of charts. If you've got some alt requests or some stock requests you would like me to take a look at this morning, go ahead, throw them in the chat now, and I will get that list built up, and we will get to those in just a little bit. I did want to take a look at a few assets. We've got gold on that list. We got a few nuclear stocks on that list because now even Piper is on that nuclear train. You know, I've been hyping it up for about a year now, and it's finally really starting to explode. You're seeing a lot of investments in nuclear. So if you're in that Piper Academy Discord, we've got that full nuclear list there. This morning, we're just going to go over probably like 3 of those. But if you got any other requests, we can definitely get those on the list. I see virtuals on that list first. We can get to that one. We did call out some levels yesterday on that one. MO, PBR, along with SMR. Well, we can definitely take a look at those as well. Let's get MO, PBR, SBR, and SMR, one of my favorites. We can take a look at that as well. And we've got JR saying it's starting to explode. Yeah, a little bit of a pun there. We got H bar requested and VVV for JR, the King Degen. All right. Well, let's get you prepped for some success today so we can get over to those alt and stock requests and see what's going on. Because we got a little bit of a downside move across the board, but we're starting to see just a little bit of some movements this morning. We've got Apple up 0.64%, and it's got earnings today. So keep your eye on that. Might be a little bit volatile there. We've got NVIDIA sitting a little bit to the downside, not too unexpected. You know, it's been on an absolute tear. A lot of AI news has been coming out as well. But seeing a little bit of cool off gives you just a little bit more room to run towards the upside. So we got Berkshire Hathaway down 0.45 this morning. It's got earnings next week, so be prepared for that one. We got Amazon down 0.7% with earnings today as well. Eli Lilly also sitting with some green this morning, up 5.58%. Massive move towards the upside, and it's got earnings today as well. We've got ExxonMobil sitting down 0.32. It's got earnings tomorrow, so keep your eye on that one. We've got Tesla sitting down 0.89. We've got P&G up 0.21. We've got Microsoft sitting down 2.63% this morning. Google sitting up massively. I know someone brought up Google in the chat. It's sitting up 7.17. It's got a lot of news coming out of the AI front as well. So keep your eye on that Google stock. We might have to take a look at it here tomorrow because I do expect some pullback here soon. But for now, it is on a tear. We've got Meta down 8.87 this morning, and it looks like it's been continuing on that sell-off all morning. We'll take a look at that stock tomorrow, see what it's doing after a little bit of some sell-off. For the crypto side of things, though, we've got a bunch of red bubbles, a few green bubbles like HBAR, BNB, Hype, and BCH, but for the most part, we're looking at a red market on the daily. We've got Bitcoin down 2.6. We've got Ethereum also down 2.6. BNB up 0.08, taking a spot in the market cap from XRP, while XRP is down 3.6. Solana down 2.4. We've got Dogecoin down 2.8. We've got Tron sitting down 0.3. Cardano down 2.3. Hyperliquid up 0.9. We've got Chainlink up or down 0.9. We've got Bitcoin Cash up 1.5. We've got XLM down 3.5. SWI down 3. We've got Leo token down 0.3. We've got HBAR up 3%. We've got Avalanche down 1.9. Litecoin down 1.6. And Shiba Inu and Toncoin both losing spots in the market cap this morning. We've got those fear and greed meters looking quite like they did yesterday. Stock market looking at 42 and some fear, not too unexpected. After we did see a little bit of some sell-off, but we got some rate cuts. So we might get a little bit of some movements towards the upside if we get some good earnings today. We've got the crypto side of things down 17 points and sitting in fear. Piper was warning about it. We did get some rejections off of some key levels, and we'll just have to see if we can hold up some key levels now. But on this liquidation heat map 24-hour, we've got quite a bit of liquidity towards the upside that could give us that move back up as long as we can hold a key level we will talk about in just a second. We finally closed out that CME gap that we had made, so we've got plenty of room to run towards the upside if we hold some key levels. We've got 112,500 for the very top side of that liquidity, and it starts at 111,800. No surprise there. That is a key level I call out all the time. So if we can get back up there, we've definitely got quite a bit of liquidity that we can clear out on that chart. That 3-day also looking a little bit nice for some continuation towards the upside if we maintain key levels. We've got a nice little hot spot sitting at 114,000 and then again up at 116,300. Zooming that on out just a little bit further here, taking a look at that 2-week. We did talk about that 2-week the other day. And what we're really looking for here is this nice little clear out of some bottom side. I know it is a little bit nasty on the chart for those levels, $106,000, but there's quite a bit of liquidity down there. And then that gives you the nice big move towards the upside where we're starting to have quite a bit of liquidity. You've really got to zoom that on out back to like the monthly chart to see any of that liquidity. I guess not. It might be a little bit further than that. Let's see, 3-month, because I know there was some liquidity up there, unless people have just repositioned. So, yep, there's a little bit of liquidity up there. Not as hot as it used to be, but you've also got some orders way up here at 133,000, an area we've talked about before. So we'll have to see if we can get back up there after we reclaim some key levels and hold those with some strength. We've got quite a few people in the chat this morning. Let's scroll it back to the beginning. We had CCM first in the house. Good morning, sir. We've got Trade Intuition number 2 in the house this morning. Good morning to you. I'm glad you made it this morning. We've got Ada Ace number 3 in the chat. Good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see who else we got in here. We got JR. We've got let's see, scrolling on down a little bit. We were having a lot of fun in the chat before the show. Let's see, we've got Jay in the house this morning. Good morning to you. We've got Donato Cabrera and Kelifit as well. Good morning to the both of you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see what else. We've got K Diggity in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. We had those stock requests and alt requests, so we can get to those in just a little bit. Let's see who else we got. We got John Foster Crypto in the house. Good morning. I hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see who else we got. I saw All Set in the house. Good morning to you. Let's see, anyone else? Al Jr. sliding on in here at the end. Good morning to you. We do have quite a few lurkers in the background, so good morning to all of you lurkers. And we've got a few people over on X as well, so good morning to all of you. I did have a new thing that I kind of wanted to start every single morning. We put a little bit of a quote on the chart before we, get that morning started here. So this morning's quote going to be from Steve Jobs, and innovation distinguishes between leader and follower. I've got the full breakdown of the quote in our Discord this morning and also on X. So let's dive on in and see what's going on with this Bitcoin chart, because we did talk about some key levels towards the downside that we needed to keep our eye on, and that was going to be the bottom side of our CME gap that we closed out with this strong move towards the downside. And now we're waiting to see if we can find a little bit of some support in this area here. We are sitting directly above 110,000 and our 50% line on our fib extensions. It does look a little bit weak though, with full transparency on that Wix. We're also seeing quite a bit of rollover here on this oscillator, and we're at a concerning point for some money flow here. If we can get some nice holdings of this area, you can at least maintain some of this green money flow here. But we are getting that strong rollover on the oscillator. Was sitting in the green, now sitting in the red, and we'll kind of have to see if we can hold 110,000 or if we're going to come down here and candlestick 108,200. That was an area that we've talked about before. I didn't think we were going to go all the way down there. I was kind of looking for the bottom side of that CME gap to hold, or at least that 110. If we did drop out of that, and we went way further than that. So we will kind of have to see if we can at least maintain that 50% line on our fib extensions, or if we're gonna candlestick what we wicked this morning. We do have this hourly also looking a little bit toppy here, and this money flow is starting to look a little bit concerning. We've got that continued rollover of our MACD and the prime oscillator here. Reversal signal, not reversing price a whole lot here. It was a nice little pushback up to try to reclaim an area we've talked about over and over, and that's at 111,800. That's also an area where that liquidity starts towards the upside. So keep your eye on that area. If we can at least maintain this $110,000 range, you could continue towards the upside just a little bit if you start getting a little bit of a switch up on this money flow. Volume is holding quite steady here, so we just need that switch of money flow to really get us that pushback towards the upside. Let's zoom this on in this morning, take a look at that 15-minute and see what we got going on. We've got an area to kind of get above for now. That's going to be that 250. That is an area that's looking like some resistance this morning, and we need to get above that before we can really get any kind of continuation today. So looking at those oscillators, we've got plenty of momentum to start switching things towards the upside, as you're starting to see a little bit of slow up on that prime oscillator, a little bit of slow up on that selling, and that MACD starting to get that nice sideways momentum. We really want to see that money flow start coming in with some buying pressure, get us above that 110,250, and then we can get that continuation. Looking like it is our local resistance for the morning so far, and then we can see if we get that push towards the upside, or if this continues as some resistance and then we drop below that $110,000 mark and then continue all the way towards the downside. So a few levels towards the upside. We do have that CME gap as well to kind of keep your eye on. 111,000 is that bottom point, and we will have to see if we get that move above 110,250, if that comes in as some resistance or not. We do have quite a bit of liquidity up here in that CME gap that we closed, so keep your eye on that top side liquidity. If we start getting above that 110,250, we did have plenty of requests this morning to take a look at. If you got any other requests, go ahead, throw them in the chat, and we will get to those in just a second. We did see a request for Bitcoin dominance. We can take a look at that real quick. Zooming this on out, get off of that 15-minute. Let's take a look at that higher time frame here. We are back above a key level here. This is a platinum pocket on a fib extension. We're seeing a lot of sideways momentum on top of that for now. I have a key level that we struggle with over and over again. That's that 60% mark. We will kind of have to see what happens today if we continue to see a little bit of rotation of Bitcoin capital into some stable coins, or if we get that rotation back from stable coins into Bitcoin. We are looking a little bit worrisome here, as we're seeing just a little bit of sideways momentum, but you're seeing that money flow on Bitcoin dominance really starting to flow into stable coins. Bitcoin's dominance is down because of that rotation into stable coins and not into altcoins. As we keep seeing this cycle, it is the trend, and a lot of people keep harping that altcoin season, and I do think we get some like HBAR and Solana now that they have an ETF, but it's going to be a struggle for that alt season, as you're seeing most of retail coming in through the ETFs. We did a show on that a long time ago, that if you wanted to see an altcoin season, you needed these ETFs to have that altcoin season. So Yep, Jay highlighting the point I've thrown out so many times here, that too many coins. There is over 30 million coins, and there is about 1,000 coins made a day. there's plenty of utility tokens and things like that, but when there's so many, it kind of gets hard to know where to put your money. So we did have a few things to take a look at before we got into those alt requests. Gold, finding that resistance at $4,031. That is an area we're kind of looking to see if we could get above. That was the lows from back here. We are seeing just a little bit of toppiness here on the morning. Let's get that zoomed on out just a little bit further. Take a look at that 1 hour, because this 1 hour could really give you just a little bit of continuation. We've got 4,155 being our resistance area. That is what we want to see. If we can get above, we're seeing a nice thing here on this oscillator, as we're seeing that MACD cross above our 0 line, but it is getting a little bit of sideways momentum here. So as we see just a little bit of toppiness on the shorter term time frame, we are trying to gather our strength on gold. We've got a little bit of sideways momentum coming in on top of this. Alt Z. Lock that fib extension. There we go. We've got just a little bit of sideways momentum coming in on top of our platinum pocket. That is an area we talked about for gold. We really want to see if we can gather our strength in this area so that we can get that stronger move towards the upside here. We've got the daily also looking just a little bit iffy as we're getting that break below our indicator line here, but we're starting to see a little bit of sideways momentum. Our big holdup is the slowdown of volume here. So really waiting on some more volume to come on in on gold as we're trying to maintain this platinum pocket range here. And if not, we do have some areas to the downside to keep our eye on, and that's about $3,820. So got a few levels towards the downside to keep your eye on if you can't maintain our sideways momentum here to give us that higher term time frame cool off. We did want to take a look at a few nuclear stocks today. One of those big ones that I've talked about before, but haven't talked about in quite a while, is NNE. It is also a utility company that is dealing with nuclear energy. So big one in the nuclear space here. It is seeing a little bit of an open towards the upside, but we've got quite a bit of toppiness here on the daily. I am looking for a little bit of a lower entry here. I was here extra early. We had this nice consolidation phase. I was buying on the lows of, so I am waiting for a nice little confirmation of turning those tops into some support. That's also our 50% line here on our fib retracements. So $78.41 is an area to kind of watch for. See if we can at least maintain the 382 for now. That's coming in at $80.63. Might see a little bit of bouncing on top of that before you get that continuation towards the downside. Daily is looking a little bit toppy here, and we're starting to see the slow up on our money flow. So keep your eye on that money flow as this volume kind of starts to falter here. We are waiting for some lower entries, and of that $78.41 looks quite nice on an entry point. If we can't maintain that, we do have that golden pocket coming in at about $76. So that's that next little area of interest if we can't maintain the 50% line there. We had SMR requested. Also one of those nuclear stocks I wanted to go over today. I talked about the downside move that we'd probably end up seeing. Let me get that CME gap closed, because that is a closed gap now that we got that move down through it, and we're closing out another CME gap now. So we did create a CME gap on that move towards the downside to a level that I had called out as a buy area. That was $33.78. That is an area that is pretty strong support for us. We are seeing quite a bit of momentum that could indicate some continuation towards the upside here. Nice little consolidation phase. We do have plenty of resistance up at the golden pocket 1618, and that's $53.13. We'll have to see if we can get above the bottom side of that closed CME gap first, coming in at $46.26. We are looking like we're opening up exactly where we closed. So got quite a bit of momentum here on the oscillators on the higher term time frame that could give you that continuation towards the upside. If we continue to see this money flow switching on up here, it is trying to break back into some buying here on that higher term time frame, and you've got those oscillators getting that nice curvature back towards the upside. Volume's looking quite nice here, so if you can get that money flow switching from red to green with some strength on that higher term time frame, you've got a lot of momentum to really get you above that golden pocket fib extension as we've cooled off on the higher time frame quite nicely. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at that hourly here. This hourly also coming in with a little bit of sideways momentum here on our local area. We did get to the top side of this CME gap. That was that area we were just talking about there. And we're seeing just a little bit of resistance at the top side. So getting above that first, our local resistance is going to be $44.28. We've rejected off of that several times now. If you can get above that, then you've got plenty of room to run towards the upside. You've got plenty of sideways momentum coming in on those oscillators. And we're really just... Oop. Sorry there. We've got that those oscillators running sideways, and we're really just waiting on this money flow here. As you can see, we've seen quite the slowdown on that sell-off pressure, and we're seeing that true 7 almost clipping out here. So really need that to clip so we have that strong indicator that we might be getting a stronger move towards the upside. We also got that 15-minute and the morning looking like it's got plenty of sideways momentum as well. We are getting a nice little consolidation, and we're waiting to see if we get that break above that CME gap or if we get that rejection and continue on towards the downside of that, coming in at almost $41 there. $40.99. So that'd be that area to the downside to kind of watch. It is our strong support for now, and then we would have to regather some strength all over again. So that was SMR for you. Let's take a look at another nuclear stock that I've been talking about over and over. And this is OKLO. It is seeing quite the sell-off this morning. We're opening up below our lows before we got that push towards the upside. Still looking like you might see a little more downside on the higher term time frame. You got a peak seeker here on the 15-minute, but let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at the daily. I did talk about some lower levels for OKLO, and we are looking like that golden pocket fib extension on the 3618 is going to be our resistance for now. I would like to gather just a little more strength on the higher term time frame before you get that push towards the upside. I've got an alert set at 110. So looking to do a little bit of buying in that area. We've got a little bit of some curvature here on the MACD. Oh, wrong button. We've got a little bit of curvature here on the MACD. Prime oscillator running a little bit sideways here, and this money flow and volume are a little bit worrisome. We're looking like that money flow could be breaking into some selling pressure on the higher term time frame, and that's why I'm really looking to at least maintain that 110 range to see if we can get that push towards the upside. If not, we've got just a little bit of some lower levels to kind of keep your eye on. That first level coming in at $96.50, and then $90, and then $85. So if we do see that continuation towards the downside, with this being that secondary lower high, we are looking for at least a maintaining of that 110 range, or a nice little clear out of any liquidity that would be in this range here. We do have that hourly also looking just a little bit toppy. It is trying to get some continuation, but those oscillators getting that nice little sideways momentum here. We did get that nice little last push up before we started seeing that stronger curvature here. You've got that peak seeker on the hourly as well. Your money flows in the red here on the shorter term time frame, and the volume is holding steady, looking like you're seeing that volume just become a lot of selling pressure. So we do see quite a bit of resistance directly above above us, and I would look for a little bit of a lower level today, as we do see that pre-market opening towards the downside. So that was those nuclear stocks I kind of wanted to take a look at. We had a few other requests as well. MO and PBR. Let's get that on the stock list. MO. I'm pretty sure we've taken a look at that before. Altria Group. It might have been on the other one there. Here we go. Actually, we took a look at it on this one. Getting that strong move towards the downside. I'll have to do some diving in to see what this stock actually does, and then might have a little more information for you later. Look at that massive sell-off this morning, breaking below the highs from back here. Let's get this zoomed on out to the daily so we can see things just a little bit better there. Yeah, really getting that strong move towards the downside this morning. You do have some bottoming indicators, but it doesn't look like it's a bottoming too well here. Let's get this pulled on up. See, 3.58% towards the downside today. So definitely looking like a strong sell-off. We did talk about the golden pocket being a resistance area for us. Looks like it is a bit of a resistance area, and we're losing the 50% line on our fib extensions. So we do have some levels to kind of keep your eye on to the downside here. Let's get this drawn on out. It's from way back here. We've got those equal candle bodies. Let's get it zoomed in a little bit better. There we go there. Equal candle bodies coming in off of those wicks there. So $57.10 wouldn't be an area I would kind of look for some support. It's Marlboro. Oh, okay. So people needing their nicotine, but nicotine getting a little bit of a sell-off this morning. I see DDT in the house. Good morning, good morning. It's my long hold with nice dividends. All right there. Well, plenty. I play that dividend game as well. So normally you see those dividend stocks being at least a little bit nice for those holdings of areas. We are in just a little bit of a worrisome trend here, as you're seeing this be a lower high on your macro. Really get that zoomed on out. Take a look at it weekly. There you go. You've got that lower high coming on in. If we can't at least maintain some of this to try to continue with the trend here, then you might look for some lower levels there. And that next level towards the downside being $55.28. That's our 382 on our fib extensions. You do have these higher lows to contend with, so we could go quite a bit lower and still maintain some of this trend here. This is a higher high here, a higher high here, and we would like to make a higher low here somewhere. So keep your eye on that. We do have plenty of lower levels that we could come down to and see price hit and still maintain this little bit of a bullish trend to try to break above our highs way up here at $77. We will have to contend with $70 first. That is our strong resistance. So let's take a look at PBR. That was a stock as well. Don't think I've ever looked at that one. PBR. Let's see what's going on with this one. Looking like we've got some resistance directly above our range here, coming in at $17.92. That is a very strong resistance. You can see how many taps we got on that to the bottom side there. We are trying to continue towards the upside. We've got a nice little trend of higher lows on the macro, and we will really have to see if we can continue to gather our strength. K Diggity saying Pabst Blue Ribbon. He says it's a Brazilian oil company. So nice PBR, but not the PBR that we're looking at this morning. I believe PBR is actually owned by what is that company? They own basically all the beers, so it's the illusion of choice. But yeah. We've got this one looking like we've got plenty of resistance above us. We are maintaining our trend on the macro of higher lows. Looking like we're getting just a little bit of a cool off there. Let's get this zoomed on in. Kind of pull a fib from our local range. let's go from the lows here to our highs here that are resistance. And it looks like that 382 is what we're battling with. We are below it. Let me get that locked. So we do need to get back above that to really see that, or we're coming back down to the 50% line. So we are seeing that open exactly where we closed. Really waiting to see if we can get that push back up to the 382 here. You've got plenty of curvature here on our oscillators. Let's get that zoomed on in just a little bit. Got plenty of curvature here on the oscillators, getting that move towards the upside. But the worrisome thing here is it's getting that I didn't know how to spell Anheuser. Oh, yeah, that's that company there. So getting that move towards the upside, but you're doing so with some slowing off on the buying pressure. So we do see plenty of resistance at that 382, and we will kind of have to see if we get that rejection off of it all over again. As you can see here, rejected off of it, trying to gather some strength, looking a little bit toppy here on the 1 hour as well. So could definitely see that continuation towards the downside. You've got bearish divergences stacked up on the MACD and the prime oscillator. So we are losing just a little bit of momentum there as well. Really waiting to see if you maintain the lows down here at $11.11 there. Actually stronger lows, $11.03. So that'd be that area to kind of watch for. See if we can hold price up there with that move towards the downside, or if you're coming all the way down to the 50% line and $10.37. So that's what I got for some PBR. We will kind of have to see if we reject off of that 382 again, and then at least to maintain those lows, or if we make some more lows there to really cool off some of those higher term time frames. We had a few alt requests, so let's dive into those. Let's see what we got going on. Anheuser-Busch. Yeah, I think that's the company that I was thinking of there. They own like 70% of the beer market, so it's a big illusion of choice. Hey BC, what time frames do you draw your fibs on? Mainly the daily? Well, it really just depends on what kind of trend we're looking at. So sometimes I draw fibs from the weekly. Really depends on if I'm trying to get a longer term time frame trade. I also pull from local levels there. So as you just saw with this one, zoom that on out, taking a look at that weekly chart, we've got a nice little local trend here that we can pull our fibs from. So we go from the lows to the highs there, really see if we can maintain some of those lower levels, that 50% line. You can see how well that plays out on the shorter term time frame as well. This is the daily. I pulled from the weekly. You can zoom this on out a little bit further as well and get that more macro trend there, pulling from the highs to the low, but that wouldn't give you as much information as you'd really like, as that's more of a highly macro trend, and you would want to get above those stronger levels there. As you can see, that 382 coming into play, that is our like local resistance there as well. So it really just depends on what you're kind of looking for. If I was looking for us being in an uptrend and above that $17 mark that I called out, then I would want to look at this more macro trend so that we can see where our next resistance areas would be coming in with some strength on. So I've also pulled fibs from like the hourly as well. Really just depends on what kind of time frame you're trading on. So you can pull them from all the times, but mostly I pull higher term time frame fibs. Is anyone a Slytherin? Actually, I am. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna see if it shows you there. I'm not. I'll cover that there. But the rest of my stickers fell off. But yeah. Oh, there we go. I got a Slytherin sticker on my tablet. So Yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I liked Harry Potter growing up. But let's get to these alt requests. We talked about virtuals yesterday. Virtuals was looking a little bit worrisome. We did talk about the rejection off of the highs at a $1.56 to see if we could get at least down to the bottom here and hold a $1.43. And we did talk about another level below us coming in at $1.36. That was an area to really keep your eye on, and it looks like that might be the area that we could get some bouncing at. It is a strong area of support from back here, and it was a strong area of resistance where we saw 3 touches off of and a drop towards the downside. So $1.36 looking like a nice strong area of support. Let's get this zoomed on out, really see what that hourly is showing us. Hourly is showing you have that potential for just a little more downside there. I would look for the shorter term time frame bounce at $1.38. That's where we got those equal candle wicks, and see if we can at least maintain that to get a little bit of a push off of. And if not, coming down to $1.32 would be what I would watch for. Let's get that short-term time frame horizontal drawn out. There we go. Got that coming in at $1.38. You can see that nice equal wick in action off of it, and we're waiting to see if we get that bounce and then continuation above and $1.43. So looking a little bit bottomy here on these oscillators, but we're not getting that sideways momentum we'd really like to see just yet. So I would look for a little more downside. Let's see what that daily was looking like there. And daily also looking extremely toppy. So if you don't hold that $1.36, you've got plenty of areas down here to see some bouncing at, and that's $1.24. We've also got these equal candle bodies at $1.31. So daily looking a little bit iffy with how toppy it is. Really waiting to see if we get that continuation of money flow on the shorter term time frame. So 15-minute and the morning was also seeing that continued sell off. You're starting to stack up those bullish divergences. So that's where I'd look for your first potential bouncing at $1.38. And if you want to, if we're going to stack up a few more, you've got that stronger bouncing area at $1.36. So I would expect to see a little bit of some bouncing sometime soon, but you definitely got some strong downside pressure to keep your eye on. So that was virtuals for you. Y'all talking about Harry Potter now. Caliphant saying Ravenclaw. We've got Silver Days XRP in the house. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see. Let's drop a poll in the chat real quick. What house are you? Actually, we will do that tomorrow because we got a few alt requests to get through, and then I gotta wind the show on down because I didn't realize what time it is. It is 6:25, and I got 5 minutes. So we had H bar requested. Let's see what we got going on with some H bar after that strong move towards the upside off of that ETF news. We did see just a little bit of some sell off there. Nice strong bouncing areas from levels I've called out before. We got that move towards 16 cents, and it bounced off of our trend line, and then we got that move directly back up to 21 cents, and then we pulled back down below 20 cents. That is an area that is kind of strong resistance. We have now wicked it, and we're waiting to see if we can candlestick it. So we do have plenty of momentum here on the higher term time frame, and we're really just waiting to see if we can maintain our current range. So we do have some levels directly towards the downside to keep your eye on. 19.45 would be an area to keep your eye on towards the downside. That's where we get our equal candle bodies. We'll make that a higher term time frame one because that's pulled from the daily. And we've got a nice area above us as well. So let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look. See what that 4 hours doing there. 4 hours coming in with a little bit of sideways momentum. You can see that nice bounce off of 19,450. That is an area we at least want to maintain to continue with this trend here. We are seeing a little bit of resistance back up at our strong area, 20 cents. We'll kind of have to see if this continues to roll on over. We're seeing that prime oscillator coming in light red, but doesn't mean you don't see some continued sell-off. So really looking to at least maintain 19.45, and that would give us at least a little more cool off on that higher term time frame, like the 4 hour there. See if that 1 hour gives us a little bit of continued cool off. We are at least continuing with these higher lows. We did see that strong resistance above us though, so let's get that one marked out as well. 21.063 short-term time frame resistance. Let's get that a little bit thinner there. That is that level to kind of see if we can at least break above to continue up to 22 cents there. We got Wick in the house. Good morning to you. You know, I was just thinking we should test some nuclears, but since I have TDS, I suddenly believe it's a terrible idea. Is our boy just trying to spin more random black swans up? Oh my goodness. Well, it's not just Trump that's on that nuclear train. You've got Trump on the nuclear train. You've got Japan on the nuclear train. You've got China on the nuclear train. You've got Microsoft on the nuclear train. You've got Bezos on the nuclear train. And then a few other people as well that are really hounding nuclear because they realize that with our energy demands, you're going to need something else going on. So good morning to you, sir. Let's see if we can get some movements towards the upside on some of these alts so we can make some money. BC is, oh my goodness. JR, I can't even read that. Come on now, bro. We got VVV requested as well. So let's see what's going on with that before we wind that show on down. VVV, I don't think it's on my list either. So VVV, I'm pretty sure I do it on the Coinbase. Yep, on the Coinbase chart. So let's get this zoomed on out, see what's going on this higher term time frame. Dang, JR, you like this project here, sir? You've been trading it? I hope you're not holding it. I hope you're just trading it and not like holding this for the long term. Because Piper made that joke the other day when you buy the dip and then it keeps on dipping and now you're a community member. So we will see first if VVV can get back above our local resistance area. You've got plenty of cool off here on the higher term time frame, but it is looking a little bit iffy there with that sideways momentum coming on in. I would need a longer history. Can you tell me what might have a little bit longer history on it so that in the future when we look at VVV, I might know some of those lower levels to keep our eye at? Because nice little bouncing action, but we are breaking below our fibs here. We've got that resistance coming in at $1.83, 84 cents. So that's an area to kind of keep your eye on. We are trying to at least gather some strength here. You've got your momentum coming on up towards the upside here on that prime oscillator MACD, but you got a lot of selling pressure to really get above here. So definitely a little bit worrisome there on the higher term time frame. You've got that hourly trying to gather some strength here as well. Got a lot of bottoming actions on your prime oscillator here. Let's get it actually moved on up. There we go. A lot of bottoming actions here on that prime oscillator, but you've got this money flow to really get worried about. So this is some strong red money flow that we really need to do some battle with there to see if we can get above this $1.84 point. VVV going past zero. I hold and stake it. Oops. Oh, this is the zero line on our fib extensions or fib retracement there. But this also doesn't have as much history. This is the Coinbase chart. Just look at it because that normally gives you that nice strong money flow there. Beautiful money flow out there. Yeah, so we do have some nice strong support directly below us right now. That's $1.53. So keep your eye on that level. See if we can get that continuation off of that. We are seeing just a little bit of bottoming on the hourly, but you've got a lot of money flow sell off to contend with there. You're also seeing a lot of gap in here. So when it moves, it looks like it really moves with some strength there. So keep your eye on like that $1.50 range. See if we can get that next bounce off of it. Oh yeah, I know it was a joke, Redman. I just had to clarify just in case anyone else didn't know that I'm talking about the zero line and not actually zero. But it is time for me to wind that show on down. And we got 2 other shows here on the Piper Academy you need to tune into every day. That's that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm sure Piper is going to have a lot to say about the rate cuts that we just saw and what Jerome Powell said as well. So I left that to him today because I wanted to look at some charts because we got a lot of areas that we could do some potential buying at, not just in the crypto space, but also in the TradFi space. You've also got Trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Great place to be if you like to trade and you like to make some money and you also like to put a tinfoil hat on and have a little bit of fun. But until next time, make sure to wake up because today is going to be a good day.
Yeah. Yo, gather round, let's set the stage. Teaching trade terms in a brand new way. MACD, Fibonacci, prime oscillator. Stacking up profits, call me the educator. First up, MACD, you know the vibe. 2 moving averages, you're riding the tide. Histogram bars, red and green. Cross above zero, bullish scene. Blue line, cross up, signal, go. Momentum shifts, watch money flow. Divergence spotted, trend might switch. MACD, the truth never glitch. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks inside. Trading sharp, keep your game tight up. Prime oscillator pro, that's my god. Smooth RSI, volume inside. Money flow included, moves are clear. Strength of the trend, no room for fear. Above 50 zone, strength's legit. Below 50 caution, that's a tip. Overbought signals, time to chill. Oversold signals, by the thrill. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks inside. Trading sharp, keep your game tight. Fibonacci retracement, that's precise. Golden ratio, so nice. Pullbacks mark, watch for support. Extensions target, profits court. Trend lines drawn, connecting dots. Support and resistance, key level spots. Horizontal zones where price might stall. Order block stacking, gotta catch them all. Combine these tools, synergy in play. Stack confirmations, trade that way. Risk manage tight, patience key. Profits grow steady, yeah, that's me. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks inside. Trading sharp, keep your game tight. Now you learn the terms, style explained. Market mastered, profits gained. Trade and art, pitch the paint. Level up now, no complaint.